close to Canon. Don't do anything with it, but, you know, stop the studio or something. Okay, so core yoga, we're going to start on our backs today, all right? And you can just set yourself up like you would for bridge pose. So you just lay down, make yourself comfortable on your back, and take your feet a comfortable distance from you for a moment and just take a few breaths. Especially with what we've been talking about, let's just calm down. So breathe into your navel area, take the breath all the way in so you get a rise in the belly. And then when you exhale, just imagine the washing out like a wave. So it just kind of crashes and comes out. And you're inhaling again, and you're just lifting up through the belly. Releasing down, thinking of the action, the recycling of the wave. Let's just start to feel yourself soften into the mat a little bit. And see if you can repeat it 3 times so that you come into you. And then let's pick up the legs so that they hover above your pelvis. If they don't seem to go where you want them to, bend the knees a little more. If that still doesn't work, you can use the hands under your pelvis, okay, if you want to, just to get that little rise so you're not struggling with this position. Then what we want to do is try to lift up the pelvis off the floor and then release it back down without getting any kind of swing happening. So if you can keep your feet above your hips without any kind of help, this will be easier to find than if you need help here, okay? So instead of swinging, you're trying to lift as if you're presenting somebody who's standing above you with your beautiful feet, the soles of your feet, and then you release it back down. And then you continue to do this, so it's a lift and a hold, and then a release. And we try not to take it too much up into the neck. It's kind of tough if you're really straining with those muscles, but just see if you can really organize yourself so it's just the lower body doing the lifting. And then if you want, you can add a breath. So it becomes an exhale as you lift. It's an inhale as you lower. And you're just operating within your own ability. So don't worry if you can't get your pelvis to get really, really high. It's just a little squeeze then for you, okay? And releasing back down. Now see if you can point your toes and do the same thing. So there's a little bit more concentration involved. Okay, now you're trying to touch a button above you, imagine, right? So you're trying to lift up enough so that you can push a button above you, and then you release back down. Exhaling again as you go. And we'll try about 3 more of these, and you're really concentrating on only that lower part of your belly, the part that lives below your navel. That's the part we really want to get involved in this. We've got 1 more if you're doing about the same speed as me. Then we're going to take a little break for the lower back. So you just bring your legs in and give yourself a hug. If your knees are sensitive, you want to slide the forearms underneath the knees. And then if you want, you can rock. I like to rock side by side, but if you prefer to circle or a rock and roll forward and back, you can. You're just releasing out what's going on here. Practice your breathing. When you have something close to your belly, so when we flow or when we do other exercises, and you're trying to breathe, and it doesn't work because the belly seems to have limited space. Try breathing into the sides of your ribs, so you expand the width of you. We get into this idea of becoming a cylindrical figure, a spherical figure, something very round, okay? So we're going to take the feet up, and we're making the legs like bookends, so there's a 90-degree angle. Some people call this the tabletop position. So you can imagine if you were doing tabletop with your legs down on the floor, what that would feel like, okay? Then you can bring the knees together. If you have a block, you can insert it between your knees if you like. It gives you a little bit more something to concentrate on here, something to help you with, okay? So you've either got knees touching or you're squeezing your block. We're going to keep this 90-degree angle, and I want you to think about your knees are now at 12 o'clock above you, okay? Where is 2 o'clock for you? Move your knees over to 2. And then take it back through the center, stop at 12, so you stop the momentum. And then go back over to the other side, which will be about 10 o'clock, so you're finding 10. We'll go back to center. So we're going to continue with this, and you're just going between 2 and 10. You see if you can keep it really slow, because when you slow it down, instead of it becoming like a swing of a pendulum, something that has momentum, it becomes you maneuvering parts of your body using your muscles. Yeah. And you can use your arms beside you. You can also take your hands above you and cradle your head if that makes you feel good. Whatever kind of makes you feel comfortable while you're concentrating on the lower half of you. That's a good idea. So we're going to continue doing this, and I would like to offer you a different stage. If you're feeling like this could be a little bit tougher for you, you're not really feeling much, what you do is extend the legs a little bit. So you take them away, and you want to try this in small increments so that you don't end up doing something that's too harsh on your lower back too quickly. Okay, so we just open up the back of the knee joint, we get a slightly longer legs. Of course, if you're holding a block, you're going to be feeling this anyways a little bit more, that extra weight and that extra squeeze in the inner legs. We don't really want to go to straight legs here because we end up with a little bit too much pressure on that lower back area. So anything that has a slight bend in the knee is a good idea. I want you to try 2 more sets. So you're going right and left for a set. Every time you move into the center, you can exhale. Every time you move away from the center, you can inhale. A little smile on your face always helps your body know that you are joyfully doing this exercise. Right? So nice. So we're going to come back to the center, and those of you that have a block, you can totally hold on to it. If you don't already, I want you to clasp your hands behind your head so that you can slightly look forward and look at what your legs are doing. What we're going to try now is to extend the legs out just a little bit more. You can keep them up at the same height they just were for tabletop. You can stretch those knees out if you feel like you have strong abdominals and a strong back. And then you pull it in to fully relax that whole muscle that you've been working, okay? And then we do it again. We extend out, we try to keep it up about where the knees were for that tabletop. If that block bothers you, you take it out, and we pull it back in. If you haven't been doing abdominal exercises for a while, I just do it with pure body, no block yet. So when you feel the most pressure in your body, which is when you're extending your legs, that's when you want to exhale to release thoracic pressure. So we go out here. We pull back in. As we go out, we start to exhale the air. Pull back in, relax. Take it out. Now you can experiment with the height of the legs if you want. If you're very, very strong in your core, you don't have very many back issues, you can choose to lower the legs a little bit more. You'll start to feel your body shake and shimmy. Right? And then you pull it in, you have a relaxation moment. It's always important to have that yin and yang effect, right? So that real dynamic feeling in your body where the heat rises, and then you come in for a little bit of a relaxation so your body knows, okay, I don't have to fight this, right? You go all the way out as far as you can. You're trying to exhale the air. When you feel the pressure, you feel the need to contract through the core of you, and then you relax back in, take a breath to energize your body. So if you can, you're still doing 2 more. If you need to rest now, just take a rest and hold on to your knees, give yourself a little hug. And that's all coming together. We're bringing the legs in. So again, you're choosing the hug that works for you. Some people feel better with the knees a little bit more open, which means you insert those forearms underneath the legs. How are we doing? Woo, starting to warm up a little bit over there. Okay, so I want to do something that involves the upper body now. So we've been working in the lower core and the obliques a little bit here. So we're going to set up my favorite exercise. You guys probably know this, right? Let's start in the relaxation position, legs up the wall, basically, okay? Then what you need to do is take your right leg with a slight bend in it. So a micro bend, flex the foot, take it down towards the mat. You're not going to quite touch the mat. About a block's distance from the mat would be a great place to go. Scissor the legs together so you get the inner legs active. This will get the psoas muscle active as well. Take the hands behind your head if they're not there already. You want to take the right shoulder toward the left knee. So you take it up, you squeeze, you've got the inner legs working, you've got the height here, and you've got that crossover lift, and you're really trying to avoid scrunching the elbow in. When you want to rest, you take the legs up, the head comes down, the body comes down. Okay, so let's do it in stages again for the left side. Keep the foot flexed, lower that left leg, and keep that leg above the floor for a second. Then we're going to try to scissor them together without losing the height if you can. Micro bending the knees is definitely going to give you that pelvis back for you, okay, so that your lower back's not working too hard. Lift the left shoulder up, and you try to keep it open. So instead of taking the elbow towards the knee, take it towards the sky. Keep some space between your right shoulder and your left elbow, okay? Hold it up here for a second. You start to feel it burning and tingling, right? Then you relax. Here's your relaxation pose, legs up the wall, okay? So let's see if we can keep doing this. Remember where you go to. Right leg lowers, scissor squeeze. Exhale the lift in the body. Inhale the relaxation. Lower the legs, squeeze. Start to exhale as you lift. And then inhale, you're going into that legs up the wall pose. Do it again. Don't forget that little scissor moment, because that really changes what's going on. When you flex the feet, you also have a little bit more information coming up your body here, okay? And you're really trying to keep that opening between the shoulder that raises and the shoulder that's on the floor. You keep a lot of distance there so you keep yourself open in your collarbones, yeah? Try to get your head up off the floor without pulling on it. See if you can just kind of lift through your torso to get that head to rise, okay? If it's getting a little bit too challenging, try just doing the legs with a little bit of a look up over the body. You can do that as well. And then we start to get a little glow on, don't we? You want to do two more? Oh, so do want to do that, yeah. Beautiful. This is when I start to do funny paces. I blow it out like I'm blowing out through a straw. Relax here. Give yourself a little hug. Oh my gosh. And the thing that's going to feel really good, stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs out. Oh my God, right? Whoa. Give it a little shake. Feeling fantastic. Take a few breaths in through the belly while you're laying here. Nice. And then we're going to roll over and we'll come onto an all fours position. So I want you to do a few cat-cows for me here. Let's set it up first. We're going to just turn the hands in so that we get about shoulder width. When you spin open, you double check, because there's always exceptions to the rule. Make sure your wrists are below your shoulders. If you look at your legs, you should have the legs coming down perpendicular below your knees. And I want you today to just put the tops of the feet on the mat, since we're not using props. So if you put the tops of the feet on, you try to get the ankles to press into the floor. You kind of spread out what's available to your knees, right? So if you haven't already, make sure your hands are open. Try a cat pose for me. This is the nice one where you get to imagine that your head can hang at the end of a string, which is your neck. So just wait here for a second. Wait for your body to understand it. It takes a moment. While you're here, notice your hands push into your thumb muscles. Pull your navel in a little bit more. Let the peak of you go up towards the sky. Make some space in your shoulders by pushing the hands down even more. Nice. And then release into what's known as cow pose. I want you to think of your biceps as the gateway, and you try to press your heart forward. But while you're pressing forward, you're actually pulling back with your sits bones. So it's like a slingshot or a bow and arrow. Okay? And then you can just take a big breath in here and make sure that you've got space for the neck as well. As you exhale, you can come in and you try to squeeze all of the air out using the abdominals as well. And we inhale, coming into the cow pose. Exhale, coming into the cat. And you can choose to speed this up or keep it slow, or even slower if you want. I might speed mine up a little bit here. Being careful not to whip your head around, but what you want to have is the feeling like this whole thing is like a wave or a chain reaction through your spine. And your arms and legs kind of stay like diamonds, so you're just kind of lubricating your spine while you're encouraging the breath to enter and leave your body. See what it feels like to do 3 more of these. Where your hands are is where you want to put your elbows for a moment. Put your hands in prayer.
Pull your body back into the pose of a child, tuck your toes. It'll feel better, it'll give you something to aim for with your sits bones. If your head can touch the floor, go ahead and do it. Use the elbows. It's kind of like suction cups to pull a little space into the shoulders for you. If you want to get into the triceps, you take the hands back towards the neck. If you're not too worried about your triceps, it's more for you shoulders, then I would encourage you to keep the hands pointed upwards so that you really concentrate on pulling those elbows forward. For back sufferers, this is also a lovely way to get in there. You could choose maybe to open up the knees here and sit a little deeper so you get that lower back opening as well. See if you can have a moment where that head really rests on the floor. If you can't get there, maybe consider using a block. Nice. What we're going to do now is just open the hands up and put them on the floor. Push yourself into all fours and have a look at what happens. See if you got your wrists at the same width as your elbows. Then we're going to step the feet back behind us and see if we can do a plank here. Okay, so this is that nice little plank. What you want to try to think of is having your heart looking forward. So instead of kind of rolling the upper back in to hunker down for this pose, look forward so you really get that lower part of your core to be active. Now, without changing too much, I want you to see if you can lower your knees softly to the ground. Okay? Take a break here. Remember, this is where you pause. You can also go to pose of a child anytime. All right? You ready? We're going to see if we can straighten without losing that shape of the body as well. And then we just kind of keep moving between the two. So lowering the knees, taking a pause, straightening the knees. Always trying to think about looking forward with the heart, getting some space in the collarbones. When you feel the most tension, when the knees straighten probably, is when you want to exhale. When you relax, you can take on some air and try to nourish your body, energize your body. Try to resist the temptation to open up the elbows a little wider. It's just a little story inside your head. Your body's telling you, if I do this, it'll get better. It doesn't change it. No. See if you can do about 3 more. It's my favorite number, the Trinity, the magic Trinity, right? Yeah, if you need to take a break, you just go in a pose of a child. There's no problem doing that. So if you're doing one more with me, just make a really strong effort here. Big breath. Beautiful. And we're going to relax and take pose of child. Any version you want to choose here is fine. Rolling in is also a nice way to kind of surrender into all of this. Letting your neck have a little bit of relaxation is always good. So gather your strength. Feel all of that heat rising in your body for a moment here. We'll come back very slowly into all fours. Do a quick check on your measurements. Tuck your toes and then see if once you sit back against your heels, how that feels. Can you still keep your hands planted? Okay. Come forward again for me in the all fours. Go back again and see how it feels if you try to lift your knees up here. Keeping the hands planted. Come forward into your all fours. Inhale. Think of it as a cow. Go back. Think of this as the cat, but pick up your knees. Do it again. Come forward. Go back. Exhale. Come forward. So this is kind of like the nice version, okay? Do you guys want to do the nasty version? Yeah. So the nasty version would be stay here, pick up the knees. Drop down, inhale. Pick up the knees. So you're kind of maintaining the all fours. It's a version of cat-cow, right? If you prefer the other one we're doing, go back to it where you switch back into that pose of a child. And see if you can do one more with me here. Thinking about the muscles that are working for you, because they're really important for what we're going to do next. So take an inhale, then just sit right back onto your heels and then unfold yourself into down dog. Think about how you activated yourself in order to have just the knees floating off the floor. Okay? And I want you to engage those muscles in your core to hold your dog. So I want you to try a plank pose and check your length measurements. Mine was too short, I don't know about you. So come forward into your plank. Make sure you can push your heels back. Get your heart to draw forward as if it wanted to shine a light out into the universe, okay? And then fold up to your dog and see how that feels. Then try not to move in too much. Let's try that 2 more times, just to check the measurement. How does it feel to you? Open your heart up forward, inhale. Exhale, fold the knees, fold the hips, downward dog. One more time, come into the plank, inhale. And then going back into your downward facing dog and hold it for a moment. You know your dog is well formed when it holds up over time. It tells you that the foundation and the structure of the pose is really working for you. So if your wrists and shoulders start to hurt, take a look at where the pressure is coming from. It could be you need to bend the knees a little more, lift the heels a bit. Could be that you had a moment where you weren't really using your core. So use your core to fold it up. Draw your sits bones up towards the universe to extend out through the back and get a nice little, what we call lordotic curve. It's kind of like a scoop in the back. Once you're sure about this posture, raise your right leg and try not to change too much about it, but raising that leg, maybe open the toes when you're up there, have some fun. Take a big breath, stretch that leg, that right one as far away as you can. Pull the knee in towards the chest for a moment, shift forward slightly, look in towards your knee, then go back again into your 3-legged dog, inhale. Let's try it again, we'll exhale, we'll pull in. You want to have the apex of the pose kind of above the navel going high. And then reach back one more time. This time we'll take a step. So look towards your right thumb and see if you can bring that foot all the way up. Once you get here, get really long. Get the hands out in front of you. Get your right armpit to rest on your knee. Push back with your left heel. Take a moment, make sure each foot has its own sides. Okay, so you feel safe and really elongated. Maybe move your chest around a little bit here. Make sure you can really stretch your heart forward. Take 2 breaths here while you push your left heel behind you. Get your heart to move forward. Left hand comes to the same line as your right foot for a moment. Take your right hand and reach it out in front of you as if you're playing relay races, right? You're trying to reach for the baton. Have everybody done that? It's like reach out, try to get it so that the person, can start running. You're done. That's it. Take your right hand and draw an arc up towards the sky. Get your inner elbow to face the front of the room and drop that shoulder away from your neck. Then do a bit of a cow pose in your body here, so you're actually leaning back away from your knee. But don't let your foot fold out. Keep that big toe attached to the floor. One more breath. Exhale, take that hand down. Come into plank pose so you can measure. Fold yourself up to your downward facing dog. Check and make sure that your dog is sustainable. One of the teachers I visited during my path of teaching said, try to get rid of the creases in your ankles. That's a nice little challenge. You can try that. And it really only works once you understand where the feet need to be placed, that you need to be on the balls of the toes, right? The balls of the feet. And then opening up the backs of the knees, pulling the sits bones up. That's the way to have a dog that's really sustainable over time. Pick up your left leg when you're ready. Have some fun with it. Try not to lose the idea that that right leg needs to be bent, right? That you're still trying to get rid of the creases in your ankles. That you're trying to use your thumbs when you're pushing here. And keeping some distance between the shoulders and the earlobes. Pull the left knee in. You can have a look at it. Squeeze in through the belly. Inhale as you reach back. Try it again, pull it in. Take it back. One more squeeze in here. Take it back. This time you take a big step forward. You get a nice high one. That's it. And then make yourself as long as you can. So fingers go forward. You make sure that your feet have their own side. You're getting your armpit right here on that knee if you can. Maybe it's the front of the shoulder today, okay? And then here's something to think about on this side, because I find for me, at least that left hip loves to come around the corner and swing my hips left, right? So you want to squeeze the inner legs toward each other. Another way maybe to think of it, left heel to right big toe, okay? So if you draw the energy toward each other, you kind of got that scissor effect going, right? And then you'll be able to straighten up that hip a bit. So give yourself a moment, once you sorted that out, to do a bit of a back bend, a bit of a cow. Big breath. Right hand comes back to the line of that left foot. Left hand reaches out, so that's that relay race again. Stretching, stretching. Breathing. Push into the right heel so you don't lose your footing back there. Then draw an arc up towards the universe, okay? Do give your heart a nice little shiny rub towards the front of the room, and then take yourself away from your knee, but don't lose the pressure in that left foot. That big toe is working, the pinky toe is working. You're not only in your right arm, right? One more breath. Take your left hand down. Come into plank pose when you're ready to inhale. Stretch the heels back and the heart forward. Then fold to your dog. Beautiful. Let's get a little bit of flow going. Right leg goes up into the universe. Pull the knee in for me so you can feel the strength in the core. Then go back again into your three-leg dog. Then take a giant step forward. Reach your right arm out with an inhale. Take the pressure in the legs as you exhale. You do the turn. You can move away. That's it. You can inhale into your plank. Exhale into your dog. Make sure your fingers don't all get too wide here. Left leg up into the universe. Left knee comes in under your heart. Maybe look in if you like to. Go back again. Stretch that left leg out. Take a giant step forward. Make it nice and high. Reach your left arm out as you inhale. As you exhale, you squeeze the air out using the abdominals. That's it. Take your hands in front of you into the plank. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Let's try it again. Right leg up. Soften the back of the neck. Pull the knee in. If your shoulders get tired, just don't shift forward. It's fine. Go back again. Three-legged dog. Big step forward with that right foot. Right hand does a reach. Inhale. Exhale. Go all the way over. Now take a turn to your left into a straddle pose for me. Hang out. That's it. Drop the hips a little bit. Skate over to the left. And skate over to the right. So this is us just kind of warming up here. Do it again. If your knees are sensitive, make sure you turn your heels in ever so slightly. Go right. Go left again. Go right. Fantastic. I want you to go left and stay there for a second. Take your left hand up on your left thigh. Thank you. Reach your right hand up towards the sky. Then bend your right knee and find warrior two. So this is a shifting with the feet below you. That front foot faces forward and the back foot turns out to the side of the mat, so you've got that perpendicular thing. So this is my favorite metaphor, right? You surf your wave. You guys know that? Here it is. Where's your wave? Right here. Take your left hand, wrap it around you so you feel your own support. Breathe into that right lung as you reach up. And then let's do a beautiful cartwheel to take the hands down. You're lining the hands up. We want to try to find our plank pose, step back. Move the feet around if you need to. And then exhale to your dog. Start the left side by lifting the leg up, soften the neck, pull in through the knee, get it towards the heart. Remember, you don't have to shift forward if you don't like it. Go back again. Nice big step forward. The left hand reaches as you inhale. You exhale as you reach up and find that twist, moving away. We move to the right to the straddle. Fantastic. We're going to bend the right knee and go all the way over. Then the left knee. We're just trying this out again for placement. How are your feet? Do it twice more so you can feel it. This is called skater pose or skandasana, right? When you come back to the right, try putting your right hand on your right thigh and then take your left hand up. Let's find warrior two. Dropping in, turning the feet to the front. So you've got your left foot perpendicular. Right foot is open out on 90 degrees. Take a breath while you try to find that wave. Imagine the arms floating. So if you really lift your heart up here and stretch out softly, you might be able to find that magic point where you don't have to work quite so hard. Wrapping right around the body, taking left up for a big inhale through that left lung. Maybe even looking up here, it feels good. And then cartwheel the hands down, big sweep. Frame it up on the floor, step into your plank. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Soften that to left leg a little bit. Pull that knee in only as much as you want to. Okay, then go back again. Take a giant step forward into a lunge. Take your right hand and reach it out. And then exhale as you do your twist. We inhale as we turn to the straddle. We're going to exhale as we skate skandasana. Left hand goes up, inhale. Right hand goes up and finds the warrior two. Exhale as you land into position. Whoosh. Then wrap the left one. Inhale yourself to your peaceful warrior. Cartwheel the hands down. Exhale. Plank pose your inhale. Line yourself up. And then try to find your downward facing dog. Left leg, we go up to the sky, soft neck. Nice curl in, tiger curl they call in Australia. Then go back again into that three-legged dog. Big step forward to your left hand. Take your left arm, reach it. Exhale it up to the sky. Try to lean back a little bit. Then turn to your right. Nice, bend your right knee, lean on it, exhale. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale as you softly drop into your warrior two. Try to find your peaceful warrior. You are wrapping. You're breathing and filling. Cartwheeling the arms down. It should feel like it's supposed to. Nice flow here, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Take a break. Beautiful. Let's take a little break. Let's explore what else we can do here. Let's come into plank again. Nice. Looking forward, pushing your heels back. Bend your elbows a little bit so that your heart comes down to about elbow height. Then if you want to do cobra, you take your knees down, stretch the feet, scoop forwards. Take your heart really far forward. And then fold up to your downward facing dog. Let's look at that again in case you want to do up dog. Some of us love to do up dog, right? So let's come into the plank pose. Remember that chaturanga stops about here at elbow height. Then you flip over the feet magically, open up the hearts, squeezing through the legs, firing them up, and then rolling over the feet again for your down dog. Right? So you've got two choices. You can always do your cobra. Let's move you forward. So we're going to soften the knees and inhale. Look to where you want to go. Either walk or step forward to the front of the mat. Take the hands onto your shin bones. Make a standing tabletop here. So I want you to imagine heart goes forward, sits bones go back. So you've always got this bow and arrow tensegony in your body, okay? Keep this length and this shape in your body as you fold over. So you get the stretch in the back of the legs. Some of us can straighten the legs, some of us need to stay more bent. It doesn't matter. Your goal here is to find the connection between your body and your legs. So hang out here for a second, and then put your hands on your thighs, drop your buttocks so your heart starts to come up, and then unfold yourself. So your heart is always above you. Reach the hands all the way up. That's it. Hook the thumbs behind each other. Come up onto your tippy toes, just to find your balance today. Nice job, and then come back down, let your arms come down. Let's do it again. We'll inhale. Think about which thumb you used last time. Do the other side this time. Come up onto your toes. Wow, it's like the Swiss mountain pose, not just the mountain pose, isn't it? And then come back down. That was so kitschy, right? Bring your hands all the way up again. Inhale. Let's draw a line down the front of the body as you exhale, folding over. Step your right leg to the back. Look forward, though, with your eyes. And then take your knees softly to the ground. I want you to pick your arms up here. You can keep your toes on the ground as you just lift. Decide how far back you'd like to go. And then fold over, try your down dog. Next, so let's take a plank pose. You decide how low you want to go, using knees or just straight legs. You decide if you want cobra or up dog. They're both fabulous poses designed to open up through the back and chest.
Is this up dog?
Up dog is
which?
this one.
That's up dog.
Yeah, this is cobra.
Okay.
Good question. Fold to your dog. Soften your knees, lift those sits bones up. Find that position that you could hold, because the structure is so fantastic for you, right? Remember that little tip of that one teacher that I went to, David Rigglein, right? Where you keep the creases out of your ankles. Soft knees, inhale. Exhale your way to the front. If you like to jump, you can. Do your halfway lift here. I prefer to use the shin bones because it really gives you a chance to feel tabletop here, right? Then you fold over, getting into the back of the legs, feeling the shift of the weight into the front of the feet. Then drop into the heels, drop the buttocks. Open the arms like you're hugging everybody you know, and then stand up. Inhaling, and the apex of the inhale is when the fingers touch. We'll exhale and we'll fold back down again, so shift the buttocks back. Keep the neck and the collarbones open here. Step your left foot to the back, it's a really long step. Take your knee down to the floor. Sweep the arms out for that deep crescent pose. Maybe take the pubis forward if it feels good. Then fold over, try your downward facing dog. Then again, we go into the plank. We take ourselves down to about elbow height, and here's where you make that change. Do you need your knees, or are you going to flip over the feet for your up dog? And we go downward facing dog. So nice. Hold yourself for a second, lengthen your neck. See if you can open your collarbones. Okay, so when you stand at attention, you have your collarbones really wide, right? And you let your arms hang down. We kind of forget this when we go into dog, but it's the same principle. You want to have that really nice ironed out width in the collarbone so your lungs have space to get the air in, okay? All right, let's start from the beginning. Right leg goes up into the air, inhale. Knee pulls in for that tight little tiger curl. Go back to your three-legged dog. Take a nice big step forward to your right hand, and then reach your right hand out here. Big breath in. Exhale as you take a little twist to the right. We go through our straddle pose. Then we bend the left leg to skater, left elbow finds the knee. Reach the right hand up. Drop into warrior two with that front leg bending. Nice. Then we've got our peaceful warrior. We're going to open up the right arm. Beautiful. Bend that right leg a lot. Then fold in. Fantastic. Find your plank. That's it. We take ourselves down towards the floor. Insert the knees for cobra. Or keep straight legs if you flip over the toes for your up dog. Downward facing dog. Nice. Soften the knees, inhale. Exhale your way to the front. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Good. Stand up like you're really excited, jumping up on a trampoline, and then fold back down to draw a line down your sutra abdomen. Right leg takes a giant step. Knee floats softly to the ground. We lift the arms up into that crescent pose. Big breath in. And we fold to the dog. Keep the neck soft. Good plank pose. Take yourself through what you have designed as either cobra or up dog. Knees with the cobra. And then lift your body for an inhale. Open the chest. Downward facing dog. Left leg goes up. Do a nice little tiger. Go back to your three-legged dog again. Soft neck if you can. Big step forward here. Left arm reaches. Inhale. Then we exhale as we twist out towards the sky. Big smile on your face, right? Go to straddle to the right. Lean on your right leg in the skater. Left arm goes up, inhale. Bend your left knee as you find your warrior two. Switching those legs. Then we go into the peaceful. We've got the left arm lifting. Fill them up. Exhale, cartwheel down. Go into your plank. Nice. Take yourself down through the middle. You can stop anywhere here. Drop in the knees if you're doing cobra. Take your heart forward. Downward facing dog. Stay here. Take a breath. Lengthen the neck. So nice. Start with the right leg. Lift it up. Try your tiger curl. Go back again. Nice. Big step forward. Reach your right arm. Really reach. And then do your twist. Beautiful. Take a turn to your left. Go all the way over to your left knee with your left elbow. Reach your right arm. So nice. Find your warrior two. It's the right knee bending. Peaceful warrior is the right arm lifting. Yeah, that's it. Cartwheel down. Plank pose. Go straight to your dog this time. You don't want to wear out those shoulders, right? Soft knees. Travel to the front of the mat. Halfway lift when you're there. Forward fold. Standing up like you're unhinging. But then you're so excited, eyes wide open here. And then fold back down through the middle. Right leg goes back. Take the knees softly to the ground. Inhale that deep crescent pose. Nice. Exhale the down dog. Go into the plank pose, please. Then take yourself through either a full chaturanga and up dog, or you insert the knees for your cobra. Downward facing dog. Lift the left knee. You've got a soft neck, everybody. Knee comes in underneath the heart. Curl it in. Take it back again. Big inhale. Nice. Big step forward. It's the left arm. It's reaching out. Now it takes a nice little lift up to the sky. Take a turn to your right. Go into your skater with your right arm on your leg, and lift the left arm up. You're breathing in. And then you bend that left knee as you find your warrior. Go into peaceful. Nice. Take those hands and cartwheel them down. Go into your plank. Downward facing dog. Soft knees, inhale. Travel to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Standing up is like unfolding a chair pose. Eyes wide open. Folding yourself back down again. Take your left leg back softly. Drop your knee to the ground. That's it. Big deep crescent. Maybe your pubis shifts forward. Into that downward dog you go. Plank pose. Take yourself down a fair bit here, and then maybe insert the knees for cobra if that's what you're doing. Downward facing dog. Fold your body up, hang out here, keep breathing. How you guys doing?
Good.
So good, a little warmed up now? Just a little. Okay, let's get that right foot to step towards your right hand for a second. Yeah. And then we've got this nice deep lunge, and we can just hang out here for a second. Let's check the integrity of the lunge. So it tends to go in the arms if we're not careful. So just come up, see if you can upright your body, bend that back leg. Reach the arms up above you, and then grab the opposite elbow. Isn't that fun? Then take a turn to your right while you're trying to balance all this, and notice what your legs do. I just want you to feel that. You feel the knees kind of moving in toward each other, okay? So allow a certain amount of scissoring, but then try to take control of it so that instead of you twisting using your legs and your pelvis, keep your pelvis steadily facing front. So the front two hip bones are facing front, and you're just trying to use the obliques and the intelligence of the spine to twist. Let's test it. Take the right hand just directly up from your shoulder. Left hand too. So if you're like me, you didn't quite make the full turn, but that's totally okay. Okay, so you want it every exhale, just test the spin on your body. Could you go a millimeter more? Use the exhales to clock yourself around the corner using your obliques. Now your legs might start to shake here at some point, right? Woo! So let's take the hands down, and you can use your knee in the front if you want. Take a little turn to the left so you're in your straddle. Take your hands out in the front and give your legs a little shimmy and a shake. Look at where your nose is, right? You can feel where your face is here. Bend your knees, go back a little bit with your sits bones, so you're not on straight legs. Now, where's your nose? It's a little further back. Bring your hands back. Plop your right hand down all the way in the middle. Take your right hand up on your sacrum. Did I say right hand? I want your left hand down, sorry. Right hand up on your sacrum. Now do that bow and arrow feeling in your body. Remember that when we were doing cow pose. So the sits bones are driving back behind you, and you need bent knees for that. So try that again. Sits bones behind you, knees are bent, and you're taking your heart and moving it forward into your potential. Okay, if you feel the need to go onto a little teacup shaped hand here, go ahead. Otherwise, I'd like you to try this. That same twisting mechanism we used in our standing lunge, do it here. Twist up, twist up, twist up. Use the exhale. Give yourself another centimeter. Lengthen your neck. Then reach your right arm up. How's it feel? We got this, right? Twist your shoulder, not your, move your wrist, right? So it's the shoulder, it's the rib cage that we're interested in. Take yourself up onto your fingertips. Pull yourself up out of the floor, using your obliques, using the intelligence of your body. Keep your knees bent. Try not to lose the shape of the pelvis. One more breath. Beautiful. Let's take that hand down. Let's relax through the body. Yeah, a little bit of light skating is always good here. Go back to a lunge position. There's that right leg forward again. Step back to your dog. Give your feet a shake if one of them is hurting. Yeah, just the dogs and cats are the ones we gotta look for this. They shake their wet paws, right? Come into your plank. Let's take ourselves down to a knee chaturanga, so you're just a mini one. And then just let yourself go all the way down to the floor, stretch the top of the feet out. Take a little break here, hands really wide, so you go out onto the floor, on your mat. Move your ribs forward. Lift your heart up. That's it. Oh, is that nice? Feels a little bit like an insect, but not too bad, right? And then come back down. I like to think of this as peeling myself off the floor like an orange peel, so give it a go. Peel it off, press your heart forward. Let your pubic bone and your hips kind of keep you in position. Come back down again. Maybe move your ribs forward one more time. Let's try it one more time. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it down. That's it. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Line them up with the crease of the elbows. Sometimes you need to put your thumbs in there. Where is that, right? Tuck your toes. Bend your knees so you can find your tabletop or all fours. Maybe line the hands out. Mine were too wide. Don't know about yours. Fold to your dog. Check the geometry by coming into plank. If it still lines up, your guess was good. Take your heart forward. Go back to your dog. Always good to recheck so we can have a pose that sustains itself. Breathing. So if your elbows go down like mine do, I'm gonna pick mine up. If your rib cage pops out, that's where you're loose and able to go to. Pull it up, okay? And go into the bits of you that don't usually work. Find out where they are. Next, we're gonna step the left leg forward. Here we go. Leave the right foot, the ball of the foot really active on the floor. Get this left leg to really understand it's taking all the weight right now. Let's really get in there. A little wiggly. Come on up. See if you can upright your body. Sometimes the back rejects this, so sometimes you need to start out here and just coax it in. Bending the back knee will help you. Right? Inserting a block underneath that back leg if you're feeling like it's just a bit too challenging today is another option. We're going up. Grab the elbow that you didn't do last time. So maybe do your habit, your auto pellet, and flip it. See if you can frame up your head. Do a couple of breaths where you convince your body that this is a really great idea. Okay? Then we take a turn to the left and you feel your legs helping you to twist. Okay? So like I said before, this is okay to have a certain amount of scissoring like we did in that abdominal exercise. But you don't want your knee to lose where it's pointing to. So if your back knee, for example, starts to point over towards that front heel, that's when you need to kind of take control and straighten it out, point it down to the floor so you don't lose the angle of your pelvis. Okay? And then let's see where we went to, just for fun. So you just open up your arms beside your shoulders, and then we use kind of that lever or ratchet idea where you exhale millimeters of twisting into your body. It's not about the legs, it's about the core muscles kind of coming in and supporting this pose. Each exhale is a moment for you to tighten the screw here. Great for vision, right? While you're at it, you can train your peripheral vision. Where do you see to? Yeah, can you see all around you or just a small kind of angle in front of your eyeballs? Do a couple more breaths, line your head up with where your heart is. It's always a good idea. Wow. And then we'll take a little turn coming down and loosening those legs up. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn so I don't have my bum in the camera here. So again, just do what you need to do. You're loosening up here, okay? Really fun. And then we want to bend the knees. Maybe turn the heels in just a couple of centimeters, just so you feel like your knees can track over your toes. Again, drive the sits bones back, get the heart to come forward. There's a bit of a cow pose coming into what you're doing here, okay? Then you move your hands in so they are underneath where your face is. That'll be a pretty good place for you to start. Right hand in the middle, right below the line of the heart. Left hand this time up on your sacrum. Do a back bend. Get that neck nice and long. Yeah. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, try to twist your left rib cage side up towards the sky. Sometimes it feels like this side's easier because we tend to open up our hearts a little more, right? Less out into the world, more into our inner community. So we're going to try lifting that left arm up towards the sky. And it's not about what your arm is doing, it's where's the shoulder? What is the rib cage doing? If you have a seam on your shirt, try to exhale it around the corner. And the trick to it is keeping that length in your body, okay? So sits bones back, bend the knees, heart forward. One more little try here. Excellent. And then take a turn to the front. Okay, so we're gonna turn, we end up with that left foot lunging in front again. Woo! Tingling. Step into your plank. Take your knees to the ground, go through a mini chaturanga with me. Just do one nice cobra, stretching the heart forward. Let's do a down dog. Beautiful. Walk your hands back. Get your feet to get really tight into the ground. Put your two fists in between the arches of the feet. That's how you measure the hip width of your pelvis. Make sure you drop in with your pinky finger, right? So that it's the outer edge of the hand, that muscular part that really defines where your feet are, okay? And then drop in and put your armpits onto your knees. Usually you need to make sure the heels are are wide as well. They need to be on the same line as the rest of the foot. Let your head drop in for a moment. Then take those elbows out in front of you and try to fit your head in. So it's like you're doing a forward leaning chair pose. If this is not within your abilities today, it hurts your back, I want you to use one arm on the thigh that you choose, one or the other. So you just got one arm framing, okay? Those of you that are able to do this, think about somebody putting their hand in that middle part, the back of the heart of your back, right? So it's between the shoulder blades. We call it the sea of forgiveness, right, in the esoteric. Drive the weight into your heels. See if you can do chair pose by lifting up the arms a little more. Breathing. Beautiful. Stand all the way up out of it. Extend through the arms. Inhale. Fold back over yourself. Go into a forward bend. Find the armpits into the knees. See if you can pop up onto your toes for a second. And try this for me. Can you get your hands to come around the outsides of your feet, and you want to try to cup the heels. Then you drop your buttocks and you try to drive your heart forwards as you pull your sits bones back. So you're almost like a bird on a perch here. Give yourself 2 more breaths. Kind of tense, right? Yeah. Walk forward, come into your plank. Stretch it out. Knees go down. Lift the chaturanga. Let's get the tops of the feet already on the floor. Nice. Cobra. Keep it spacious. Pose of a child. Woo! Feels good. How you feel? Warmed up? So warmed up, cooked up. Now you're on the warming platter. That's it. Let the air out. I like to think of this kind of like dragon breathing, you know? Just let it all out. Another way to do it is, if you're looking for some relaxation in the jaw, sometimes it's a point of tension. Think like a horsey, okay? Just let the lips kind of rumble. Yeah, keep yourself company here. So nice. And then when you're ready, you can sit up like I am already, sitting in hero pose for a minute. Rolling the shoulders back behind you. Let's take the hands and clasp them behind us. Push the palms together. So sometimes when we do this, the palms fall apart. So see if you can keep them together. Straighten the elbows, get the thumbs to go down the crease of your buttocks here. Okay? So it slides down. Let the collarbones open up nicely. Feels pretty good. You might be at a stretch you want to stay in, actually. So that's a choice you can make here. If you want to raise the hands up and feel a little bit deeper of a stretch, give it a try. So you come up, we try to keep the palms together. That's it. And we let that chest come out in front of us. We create a bit more of a back bend, which is nice. So if you've got like, this is a tense part of you, or you do a lot of rolling forward, sitting forward, hanging over devices, this is a stretch you probably need to implement into your daily life. Great if you've got the back of a chair, you can kind of sling the arms over it, right? And relax it down, let the elbows go loose. Maybe put the hands on the thighs and roll a couple of times in both directions. And then I'd like to try it with the other hand on top, so you kind of got your autopilot, right? We all do this one way. All you have to do is flip the fingers so you get the thumb on the other side. And then try it again. So first straightening. Really try to train your hands to stay together, because they really don't want to if you try to lift up, right? So let's take a couple of breaths, really lean forward into it. You might be feeling something around the collarbone already, yeah? And then we'll see how it feels to lift up. Only go as far as you can without losing the shape of this, okay? And then maybe lift up through your heart, through your head here. Breathing. That's it. Trying to keep the hands together as best you can. Navigating what's going on through the wrists as well. So nice. And then we'll lower the hands and loosen the elbows and just fold it. You can hold on to your heels if you want to here, while you come into pose of a child and just relax. Nice. And when you come up, just kind of take your heart forward. So as you unfold, you're nice to your lower back. You might even choose to put your hands on your thighs to help yourself to an upright position. And then we'll sit on the floor in straddle pose. Okay, and this straddle, you can start by, kind of just stretching out if you want to, if you're really flexible here. It's a nice place to be. You can maybe turn your toes down, it's kind of fun, lubricating that motion. We don't really get much opportunity to do, right? That inner rotation. I want to do that swimming that we did. So if you guys want to turn on your mat so your feet are on it, you can. We started it when we were standing, right? We did the straddle pose, we did one-sided swimming. What you want to do is take your right hand and put it just below your left kneecap. Take your left hand, put it just below your right kneecap. And bend your knees up so that you've got kind of a platform you can bump up against with your body rather. Slide down and see if you can still keep your hands attached. So if you've noticed that your feet are too wide, just bring them in. Because this is not really a stretch yet, okay? To get your sits bones to go back behind you, keep your heels on your mat and your toes turned up. Let's go ahead and take the right hand, which is on the bottom now, right? You're gonna take it up and you swim it up towards the sky. And that's that twisting we're going for. It's gonna be painful in your back unless you can find that back bend. How do you find the back bend if it's not there yet? Pull the feet in a bit more, okay? So you drive your navel forward, okay? And we try to open up just like we did when we were standing. It's the same idea. You want that rib cage to really go around the corner. When you swim back though, get the upper arm to get really close to your ear, because then you know that you're really straight. Do you feel that stretch in the side body too? It's quite nice, right? Yeah, it's like, whoa, what? Okay, see if you can bump up against your knee as you come down. Don't worry if you can't, it's just a nice little extra luxury here. Get your right hand to come over and grab that left shin bone or ankle. We're gonna try the other side. So come in the center, lift up the left one. Let your body turn. Use this right hand to leverage the turn. Do the back bend here by pressing your pubis kind of downhill, right? Then swing that left arm over your ear. Allow your whole body to do the rotation with the arm in place. See if you can grab down by that ankle. How's that feel? Come to the center. Yeah, this can be really challenging actually. So just go slow. Okay, lift the arm up, inhale. Exhale, remember to try to get really close with your bicep towards your ear as you do the rest of the twist. Left arm up. Back bending, exhaling, reaching out of the shoulder to get that big stretch across the body. Do it again, right arm up. Bring that arm close to your body, take it all the way over. Left arm up. Back bending if you can, arm close. Rotate through the torso. One more set. Okie dokie. Always happy to do one more set. It's like, we're done already, right? Okay, stay here once you're finished with your nice little pose. Bring your chin on your upper arm and then turn it, slide it all the way up towards that shoulder. Just hang out for a second. Can you get your body to come onto your legs? And then you lower the legs and open up the knees if you can. A couple more breaths. And we'll switch. We're going to take now the right hands and just cross it over. Take the chin on top of the top arm, should be the right one. Slide your chin up towards your shoulder. Hang out. If you've gone too far with your legs, pull them in so you're comfy. That back should not be hurting. If it is, it's a sure sign those legs are too straight already, yeah? So just refold yourself, get your heart to move forward. Drop the shoulders away from your ears and let your chin follow. One more breath. Beautiful. Take the hands down. Shake the legs out. Maybe do a little bit of a stretch here if that's what you like to do, grabbing onto the outside of the feet. Bending the knees is always a great way to get your back to straighten up. Yeah. Okay, and then lifting your body up. Oh, you know what we need here? Windshield wipers. So take your feet, turn your body around, put them on the outer edges of your mat. Comfortable distance from your buttocks. Hands behind you, and just windshield wipe. That's so good, isn't it? Yeah. So nice. And I want you to come onto your belly. So I'm going to slide this way so I don't stick my bum into the camera. Okay, so Ah. Ah. Frontal Shavasana, anybody? When I first started teaching her, I used to call this the pancake. Be like, this is the pancake. Shh, don't Let's do a great combination stretch. So it's gonna get your inner legs, your lower back, and your quadriceps, the front of the legs, okay? Left arm is your pillow. Right hand is going to support you. You roll a little bit to the left. Draw the right knee up beside you like you wanted to climb the mat in some rock climbing adventure here. Take your right hand then. You've got that straight leg still available to you. That's the one you're going to pull in and try to catch. Okay? If you can't, grab a towel or a belt and get that to kind of lengthen your arm, so to speak. Grabbing the ankle is a good idea because then you don't overstretch it. Okay? And then we want to press that left hip bone or hip flexor down towards the floor. You should get a nice stretch in the front of the leg there. If you're not getting it, try this. Move the right knee out a little further. Yeah, does that help? And everybody's kind of made different. We've all got different spots of us that are more or less flexible, so it's good to have options. Flex the foot if you're feeling pain in your knee. If you get a cramp like I'm experiencing, you'll have to straighten that leg out. Okay? Then, when you're ready to move on to the next part, which gets a little bit into the lower back and sacrum, it's quite nice. We want to try to get that top hand, that right one, to go the outside edge of the foot, so that we just kind of push into the hand and we allow ourselves to open up. Now, if you can, it's really nice to place the head on the floor behind the shoulder. This doesn't always work out though. Sometimes you need a prop, a blanket, a block. You can also use your arm here, okay? And you're just kind of relaxing. Don't force it. I want you to think of it more like you're melting yourself into the floor here. Taking some deep breaths is a really nice thing to do here. So you're breathing all the way into your belly, into your navel, to soften and calm yourself. And on the exhale, you're trying to melt the parts of you that don't want to soften just yet. Just melt them into the ground. Nice. And then we'll switch sides. So just come onto your stomach for a second. Lay in the middle. Maybe put your chin on your hands and just wiggle your sacrum free here. A couple of deep breaths in and out are good. Right hand will reach out in front of you. You're leaning on your right bicep. Your left hand is your support. Roll onto your right a little bit. Climb that mat with your left knee. Take your spare arm, the left one. Grab that right ankle. Pull the knee in underneath the hip bone. That'll make a nice stretch. And then again, if you're looking for a little bit more of a stretch, you slide out with that left knee to try to roll a little bit more onto the front. Breathe in. Relaxing, so kind of letting go of that bracing mechanism we all have, you know? It's kind of like if you are riding a bus and you know that there's a stop coming up, even if you're sitting, your body tends to go into protection mode. We have this even when we're not on a bus. So you kind of have to go in quite deeply into your habits, into what your muscles are doing, and see if there's some part of you that you can soften a little bit. Moving along to the next stage, so taking your hand to the outside of your foot and then just driving the edge of the foot into the hand to open you up. Choosing something that feels right to you. If it feels too intense to roll all the way over, just do a little bit. And then of course you have another alternative, which would be don't roll at all if it's not comfortable. Yeah. Head on the floor, on the arm, on a block, on a blanket. Big breaths into that belly. Just releasing, and instead of rolling onto your tummy, see if you can just flip onto your back, right where you are. Back onto your mat, pull your knees in for a little hug. That self-love is always a great idea, if you ask me. Rolling will massage you. Sighing will release you. Hold on to your left knee, let your right leg go out onto the floor. Just kind of loosen up that hip flexor a little bit, see how that feels. Yeah? Holding on to your left knee. And then open up that left leg up to the sky. Let's clasp behind the back of the knee. Can you hear? Flex your foot, see how that feels. And you've got that right leg now all the way onto the floor if you can, yeah? And you're gonna press your right leg down like it's a foundation. And imagine there's a wall below that right foot, okay? So you're gonna push that all the way to an imaginary wall. Flex the foot, push it, push it. So you've really got some heavy scaffolding going on for the top of the pose here. Now what you can do is walk your hands up the back of the calf of your left leg. So straightening the knee makes things shake. Keep it slightly bent, that's okay, right? And then you can just gently bring it in towards you and see what's available to you today. Stretching out your ischioclavius, the back of the leg. Maybe even getting into the calf if you're able to keep the foot flexed or grab for the toes or that outer edge of the foot if you want to. Letting your shoulders relax, letting your neck relax while you do all of this. Deep breaths. Bending that knee again and just guiding it over your body. What I like to do here is put my foot in the back of the knee. So that would be left foot in the back of the right knee, because it gives me an extra twist in my lower back. But if you don't like it, just rest your whole leg on the floor. That's an option as well. We'll open up the arms here. So you're doing what's known as Jathara twist here. It's a nice little relaxing twist. When you anchor your legs, it's easier to kind of open up the upper body. Another option here, if you're trying to get into your iliotibial band, would be to take hold of this leg and straighten it up. So that would be your left leg, the top one. You open up that leg and try to sling it into your right hand. Not for everybody. It can be pretty intense, but you might want to try it. And then experiment with what your hips are doing. So if they're kind of rolled all the way around the corner, pull them back a bit and see how that feels for that straight leg version there. Pretty cool, eh? So we'll meet in the pose where that left foot is on top of the knee, and then we'll roll onto the backs again. You've got both of your feet, pull them in, get into that bridge type pose. Let's do the bridge right here. Measure by straightening out the arms, tucking the shoulders in underneath you, reaching for the heels by just extending through the fingers. You just want to graze those heels. Push them through the feet, lifting up through the pelvis. Once you get here, you might choose to clasp the hands underneath your back. You might choose to walk the shoulders in underneath you so you can really get high. And then you push up through the pubic bone up towards the sky, using your feet to help you. Try not to take all the pressure in the head and neck. We really want to have a lot of it on the shoulders. The higher the hips go, the less work it is in the legs here. Nice little way to flush out the glands up in the neck and head. Try one more breath if you can. And then first we release the elbows and the hands if you're grasping behind you, and then you lower your hips. Pull the knees in for a nice stretch. Rocking from side to side, always a nice thing to do. Keeping the right knee in, extending the left one. Let's give it a good old hug on the right side. That left leg is going to be the stability of the pose here this time, so that flexed foot against an imaginary wall will really give you your psoas, that left side hip flexor. Take then the right knee and just guide it across your body.
Inserting the foot in the back of the knee is a nice thing to do. It gives you an extra little opening in the sacrum if you want it. If it's too intense, just take that foot and lay it on the ground. We're reaching open. Hands at shoulder height. Breathing into all directions as you inhale. Teaching your body to soften if you can. If you want to get into your iliotibial or your tractus, you just see if you can grab hold of that right foot, holding it in the left hand. Adjusting the hips accordingly on the top here. Slight bend in the knee is always a good idea. If you're choosing not to do this, just continue to breathe in your bent knee twist. Release that leg if you're holding the straight one. Take that foot back onto the knee. Roll onto your back. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Just bring them in a comfortable distance from your groin. Take your hands on your belly. And then just move, breathe to move the hands if you would. Up and down the belly goes. Either staying like this or stretching to Shavasana. Traditionally, hands are facing upwards. Feet are slightly turned away from each other. And you know you've mastered it when it feels like the earth below you is cradling or holding your body. Reaching when you're ready, your hands above your head, wiggling your fingers and toes, taking a deep, deep breath inside of you. Exhaling and rolling to your right. Staying for at least a breath here before you move again. And then maintaining all of that relaxation. Just come to a seated pose. And just find yourself here again. Set yourself up in that magic position with your sit bones behind you. You try to ski down here with your pubis and your perineum is below you. Sitting on a block or a blanket helps if you're not able to find it today. See if you can get your wrists on your knees. Move the pubis, navel, and the sternum apart from each other for a moment. You can really expand into your lungs with your breath. And then fold the hands in front of the heart. Take a bow with your head in gratitude. Take the hands up to your forehead and deeply inhale through the nose. Exhale out as you touch the earth. Namaste, everybody.